welcome to another episode of Roundtable Podcast. I am Helix. Alright, dickheads!
I'm born. I always wait for him. I'm always lost.
You don't have to wait for him. You can go.
I was waiting for you to just go on with the go on with the intro, and then go. I'm currently with. Yeah.
I don't do that every time.
You do normally do that.
I do normally do that, but I don't do it.
You threw us off.
Would you like to try again?
No,
You
carry on.
threw us off. I was looking directly at you.
You was on your phone, bitch.
Right, we're trying
I was
that again.
looking at you.
I'm not
Yeah.
redoing the intro, just that section, because we have been smooth every single episode.
I'm legend.
No.
I'm born.
No.
I'm jokers.
Legend dropped the ball.
Oh, there's a throwback. But no, that's who we are. That's our voices and our names. Eventually, you can see our faces.
Eventually.
When we finally get a camera set up. We do have a camera set up. It's just we couldn't bother today.
Looks like an 80s porn.
Kind of. Yeah, those cameras did. I bought some cheap ones off at eBay and I regret it. I am half tempted to just buy a Boggo standard camera or Facebook Marketplace or something.
I mean,
Because we don't need a multi-camera setup. The room's not big
we
enough.
don't need something spectacular.
I am thinking of getting a sign on this wall though.
What, neon sign?
No, not a neon sign. I think
neon signs are the way to go.
But our logo's going to look shit in neon.
We could just change it.
I don't want to change the logo. I spent ages on that.
Five. I mean, the gold would look nice. Just neon.
Yeah, just the gold.
Just the
That's a
gold,
good
not
shout,
the whole
yeah.
thing. I mean,
Yeah, but neon
nobody has
signs.
a whole neon sign.
Neon signs are expensive.
Not if you just get.
To get custom ones.
I could make my own. Yeah, I could get like a Core export of our logo
Yeah.
and then put some LEDs.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, potentially, but that's a lot of effort. But I was also thinking of doing like LED tubes behind us. But I'm thinking I might wait until we got a studio for that.
Yeah.
Do you remember the original setup I talked about, where we
Yeah.
had the LED tubes with a black curtain and that's it, and then just our logo on a TV?
And then our colours behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. I love that setup idea.
Yeah.
So much so it's stuck with me.
I think it's a back. I can't remember where I saw it. I saw someone had a similar setup, and I was like, "Ooh, I could do something with this."
Copyright. I'm joking.
It's not copyright. No, I think I saw someone had the LED tubes, but it wasn't a podcast. It was a dance show that I was working on. They're called what are they called? Pixel Part? No. That basically they're these like clear tubes with just an LED strip in them.
Oh.
But they're wireless, which I thought was really cool. Then I looked at the price of them and I was like, no, we're not having them.
How much
They're-
are
they're about 180 quid a piece.
Are they durable?
Yeah.
Lightsabers?
Yeah.
No. I don't think they're that
Could
durable.
replace them with lightsabers though.
Oh, but yeah, true.
Just hang them up like upside down behind them.
To be fair, on that note, I've been playing Jedi Survivor recently.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Star Wars Jedi
I
games.
have not
No.
seen anything Star Wars.
Star Wars movies I have.
I can't remember who the actor was.
Obi-Wan.
No, did you ever see the DC TV show Gotham?
Nope. I stay out of Gotham, in mind and in body, bro. That place is evil.
Agreed. No.
Basically, it's the actor out of that. It's one of those video games where they've actually based the character off of the actor. Off the
Okay.
voice
Rather
actor.
than, so Batman's just a normal guy.
No, I mean they did it with Jedi. It's a bit like what was that
So
one
the
with Norman?
personality.
No, just looks. What was that one with Norman Reedus? Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Yeah, they based the characters' looks off of Norman Reedus. Yeah, so they did that with Jedi Fallen Order and then Jedi Survivor. The main character was based, that looks-wise, was based
Speaking
off of
of
the
based
actor.
off, I don't know why I know this fact, but I know this fact. There's a YouTuber called Aru.
Yeah.
Her butt is on Marvel Rivals. They based one of the female characters' butts off of her butt.
What?
Is it
Yeah.
a good? Is it a good butt?
Yeah.
Now then.
Fair.
Yeah, they did the face thing, but in reverse, and she agreed
Fair.
and got paid for it.
Why not? If you're getting paid to have your
I'm
ass.
like, why did I learn this?
Yeah. Queso has a little graffiti portrait in Schedule 1.
I've seen that. And
Have you seen that, Legends,
it's
as well?
really
What's
fun.
it, sorry?
Queso has a graffiti portrait in Schedule 1.
Really?
Yeah. So basically, he was one of the first streamers to start playing
He
Schedule
basically
1.
supported the game.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
dev was like, you've kind of propelled the game to levels I never thought it would be, and it's still only in early access.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it, I'm slapping a picture of you in the game as a thank you.
With his obsessive love, the guy with the purple hair.
Yeah.
I put him
Jesse.
as the most wanted character. Poster on the wall.
I'd love that. If we become famous streamers like I would like us to,
Just
Or
our faces plus.
or just
like,
YouTubers,
Yeah.
I'd like, especially with with some of my favourite games like Dishonored. If they ever made a Dishonored 3, I'd love to be
I've not played
featured.
the Dishonored series, but
Yeah.
I've heard about it.
Yeah. I wouldn't
Like,
mind.
basically a ninja.
Yeah, essentially. I wouldn't mind being like a character in it as well and voicing one of them, but I'd love it if I was just had like a little Easter egg of like a wanted poster or something,
Yeah, to be fair, that would be more my
Yeah.
thing.
or like a band poster with the three of us.
That would
You know?
pirate posters.
Yeah. Do you
Like
know?
from One Piece.
Do you not remember the comic book that I told you about that I'm writing? I'm not going to say too much about it because it's not copyrighted, and I don't want someone stealing the idea. Not that I think it's good enough for someone to steal, but I think it's good enough for someone to steal. But I'm biased. And I said about us being like us as a trio would be the ones that run the tavern or the inn,
Oh, to be fair, I
But-
always like that kind of
but
idea.
secretly we're retired heroes.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So when the final battle comes, we come out of retirement to help, and everyone's like, "Holy shit, it's you guys!"
What now?
Like people have heard of us, but they don't know who we are. Like they've heard stories of our thing, of our kind of adventures in the past.
Well, I wouldn't mind running a tavern.
Yeah,
Like, as a cover-up too.
yeah.
It's so chill. I'll be the cook.
But like we've got like a secret underground thing.
You know?
But we're not even main characters. We're not NPCs.
No, but
But we're not quite.
we're like the supporting cast.
Yeah,
In a way.
yeah. Like we're recurring supports.
Yeah, yeah.
Like every few. Like
Disasters.
every few stories.
Every few.
Like every few books.
To be fair,
Because it is going to start as a comic book, and then I would really like someone to pick it up as
Yeah.
like an arcane type series.
yeah.
But we'll wait and see. I need to get it fucking done first.
To be fair, I would kind of like a Howl's Castle kind of thing,
Yeah,
where it's not a static. If anything, it happens in Seven Deadly Sins as well. It's not a static tavern. It moves.
yeah.
It moves from town to town. So you still work in there. You live in there. You breathe in there.
Yeah, Seven
But
Deadly
it
Sins. It's
travels.
It's Hawk's mum.
What was the? We talked about doing a video game based on like Supernatural, didn't we?
Yeah.
Where we'd be like traveling merchants or something.
Yeah, that's always my
Yeah.
fantasy choice.
Yeah. To be fair, that is a cool where we just kind of show up wherever the main character is.
Try to sell them weapons.
Yeah.
It's a hustle, bro.
Yeah.
They're in there
Yeah.
grinding away, getting the gold coins. We're there to suck them up, bro.
Yeah, because it was merchants with cars and weapons and information.
Yeah. That we shouldn't
Yeah.
have, but we know
Yeah.
anyway.
I'd also just love. I don't know. I really like the idea of being an Easter egg in a video game.
Hmm.
I'd also really love to voice act for either a animated series.
I want to go animated series with voice act,
Yeah.
but I've seen what goes into it.
But I'd love to do like an arcane style thing.
Yeah.
I think that's what we differentiate. Mine would just be anime.
Yeah, mine would be anime.
Just be anime.
You see, that's because I'm not as into anime as you
I
guys.
know.
I-
It's such a shame.
I like it, but I'm not as into it.
You need to find the
You
right
need to
ones.
find the series you like. That really is it. That isn't 3D animated, but you can get.
To be fair, what's the one that I keep going back to?
High School DxD.
No.
That's a good one, though.
Oh, I suggested that to one of my mates at work.
You've doomed that man if he has any kind of relationship.
So I don't frequently watch anime, but when I have my little I fancy watching anime phase, it's always either I did consider Black Butler at one point,
What?
Okay.
Watched that in a while.
but I didn't in the end. But it was Sword Art Online is a go-to for me.
I like the concept.
I love the concept.
Season 2 is
So,
weird as shit.
ironically, I didn't get into Sword Art Online until. Do you remember when they brought out that film and it actually made it to cinemas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't until that, and I wasn't intending on going. I didn't even know it was out. It wasn't until a friend of mine at the time messaged me and was like, "Hey, look, I've got a ticket to go see an anime film, and my buddy's dropped out. Do you want the ticket?" It was like 11 quid, and I was like, "Yeah, go on then.
Yeah.
Why not? I've got time." I bumped into this mate.
Just so everyone knows, he's pointing at me and giving me that look.
Yeah, I was talking to Legends because it was Southend Shakedown. That's the word.
Oh.
So I didn't bump into him at Shakedown. I bumped into him at the McDonald's near you, where the group went and met the rest of the group.
Yeah.
And he happened to be there as well with another group.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I fucking know you. I haven't seen you in like 13 years, but I know you. And you look exactly the same, but you have a beer belly now.
It's always the way.
Yeah, same as most people, isn't it?
Because he was one of my scout leaders, and then as I became an adult, we ended up in the same what's called network, which is like scouting for adults.
Yeah.
Where you just do your own like there's no leaders, you just do your own thing.
Yeah.
It's when you're not quite old enough to be a leader, but too old to be a scout.
Right. Okay.
But you still want to have fun and act like a child.
Fair enough.
So we were a network together, and he's actually one of the people that got me back into bikes, because as a child I was into bikes, but then I kind of moved away from them because I was like, Mum's never gonna let me get one, so let's get over it. But then he gave me a lift a few times on the back of his bike. He actually gave me my first motorcycle jacket, which I still have somewhere to this day. It was one of his old ones that he obviously didn't need anymore, so he gave it to me and he was like, "Hey, if you ever get one, there you go."
Yeah, sounds like a solid mate.
Never used it,
Yeah.
because I don't know where it went. But I never got rid of it.
Which is fair.
But that's pretty much what sparked the I'm getting a bike.
Yeah.
Not I'm gonna ask, I'm getting it.
Whereas in my case, it was the badgering on of the constant friend group that I had.
Yeah.
And then I insisted on getting a car. Failed the driving test, realised, oh, this is going to take me ages to do. And then I got a bike.
It was a fun CBT though, right?
It was. And the funny thing is, right, is at the time I still didn't want to get a bike. But remember, you were
5th of November.
supposed to go with fingers. Remember?
Yeah, you ditched me.
And for some reason, and it was on your birthday too. And for some reason, last second, he just stopped replying.
Yeah.
And then you complained to me, and I was like, look, it's your birthday. I might go ahead and do it with you. We ended up doing it. We both ended up passing. I adjusted to a motorbike so quickly, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Pushed a few buttons and said, yeah, I know what I'm doing. And then proceeded to do donuts and have him constantly harass me in donuts while the instructor was laughing his head off. Yeah, I was doing the figure of 8. He perfectly joins me and just starts bumping my rear tyre as I'm doing the figure of 8. And the instructor just fell over laughing the whole time because I was trying to escape him. He kept speeding up to keep up with me throughout the whole time we were doing the figure of 8. That's my only memory.
I think the funniest thing for me with my first CBT was the amount of times I'd hit the horn instead of cancelling my indicator.
Oh yeah, I've done that plenty of times.
Because my instructor was loving it. He was pissing himself because he was like, I've never seen someone make that mistake so many times. But like, it's not a mistake I can fail you on because you're like you've not done anything that's deemed unsafe. It's just fucking stupid and it's great.
Yep.
Because it's literally, oh, I need to cancel my indicator. Fuck's sake.
See my first CBT when that started happening? I actually thought it was someone beeping at me.
So did I. I'd turn around and be like, oh, there's no one there. How the fuck did that happen?
That's hilarious.
And then my last CBT I did on my old bike. Do you remember the Pioneer Ruby?
Heavy thing, bro.
And when I got there, so they were like, we can't put it in the van. I was like, what do you mean? They were like, it's too big. It won't fit in the van with the other bikes. I was like, alright, what do we do? because my CBT's expired. I shouldn't even technically have ridden here.
On it, yeah.
And they were like, fuck it, just ride it there. I was like, what do you mean? They were like, well, technically you shouldn't. Legally you shouldn't. But providing you do it safely, it's fine.
It's part of the CBT.
Yeah, well, I think the whole reasoning behind it was you won't get, like, they're not going to check if you're not causing any issues.
Yeah.
So technically,
and it's not a far ride, to be fair.
No, not from. So it was obviously art rider training. Highly recommend them to anyone who's looking to do a CBT in the South Essex area.
Yeah, they're based in London.
Or Pass Bike. They are also a good option.
Yeah, Sheep goes to them for his tests.
Yeah, because he had a falling out of one of the instructors at art.
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
But yeah, so my last CBT, they were like, we can't put it in the van because it's too big, so you're just going to have to ride it there. I was like, alright, fine. And then when we got there, they're like, right, we need you to do a U-turn. And I'm like, oh shit, I've never done a U-turn on this thing. And it's heavy, and it's wide. And
wait, didn't you technically do U-turns with that with me when we went to the rich area, as I like to call it?
Never a tight one like they wanted.
Oh, right.
That was like quite a big U-turn. And I was like, I don't even know if the turning circle is good enough on this thing for that. Because obviously the foot, because they're not foot pegs on these things, they're foot rests.
Foot platforms.
Yeah, they're so if you take a corner with too much lean, all you hear is of it scraping.
It was a horrible
and it was hilarious. And I'm trying to do this U-turn, and they're like, "You ain't gonna fucking do it, are you?" I was like, "I'm gonna try." I did it though. I pulled it off. Yeah, I scraped the entire way round, but I wasn't unsafe when I did it.
You still did it.
Yeah, I did have half the foot platform left thereafter. But yeah, that was quite funny. Oh, on the topic of like foot pegs and foot platforms, you know, you've got that little nut on the bottom of most foot pegs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
I discovered what that's for.
Go on.
It's to warn you when you're leaning too far. If you
It
lean,
does make a loud.
yeah, but if you lean any further than that, you're going to lose grip. That is the optimal lean.
The Hartford didn't have any.
The Hartford's also now 22 years up. 22? 21 years old now. So I'm not surprised.
That was a bomb bite.
We need
Though.
to bin that thing, man.
No.
No, I'm in the process of finding parts for it that will work.
Good luck.
No.
Full of parts that don't really belong to.
I'm not. Trust me, they're not going to be replacement parts. They're going to be different parts.
Frankenstein.
For example, digital dash, which means I need to get an ECU for it because it doesn't have one.
Yeah.
Which means I need to learn how to program an ECU because am I paying $2,000 for an ECU that's pre-programmed?
And with that, you can put it into a fuel injector instead of carb.
Yep. That's the main reason I'm getting an ECU for it.
I was planning on doing that, but into a calf racer.
Yeah, but it's going to be a nightmare. Majority of my time is going to be spent figuring out the ECU.
Yeah.
Most of my time. And then I have to build a new wiring loom for it because majority of it's corroded.
Bloody nightmare.
If we get a warehouse, the bell's going in there. It's going up on a pedestal.
Oh yeah.
That's fine.
But a pedestal we can get down from so we can ride it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll be riding it.
Yeah. I'm not changing the seat, I'm changing the leather. Because there's a really nice one that's identical to the one that's on it, but it's got obviously the black seat and then like the side panels of the leather are blue with white Hartford written on the back.
Nice, I like it.
Because I'm going with obviously the black and blue.
Yep.
I'm going with the Golf inspired, but not Golf.
Yeah.
It's going to be like the matte flake paint that I've got on Nelly.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be a darker blue, and then like almost bronze, copper, orange. So Golf inspired, but not Golf colours.
I like it.
But then it's obviously going to be like a racing stripe.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to do like a curved stripe, so like a Y.
Yeah, I got you.
And then probably a blue triangle somewhere.
I dig it. I can picture that.
So it will be like a curved Y coming down. Because I feel like it's too round to just have a straight stripe. Obviously, going to be absolute cunt to do.
Could make it faster.
Oh, yeah, that's the whole point of fuel injection. I'm also going to swap the air filter.
Yeah, and the sprockets, chain.
Yep.
I think it's gonna be a rocket.
Exhaust. Maybe I might just do an engine swap.
No. Give it the original engine. We can just customise the engine.
I am going to get it powder coated.
Okay.
I'm going to take the engine apart. I'm going to take the frame separately and get them all sandblasted and powder coated. Because the paint job you did with whatever his face is. Whoa, shit.
The black.
Yep.
Yeah.
You didn't prime it, you didn't sand it. You just sprayed it. And it's just peeling.
Well, the engine didn't look good. That's the thing.
Yeah, beforehand it didn't.
Yeah,
It looked sickly. And yeah, I remember why you guys did that now. It was so it could pass MOT.
No.
Yeah, it looked too damaged, I remember.
No, that wasn't the reason it wasn't passing MOT.
No.
No, the reason it wouldn't pass an MOT is because it's a Frankenstein.
No, actually, they were absolutely fine with that. They were actually amazed with that.
Oh.
That all the parts worked with it. No, there's fucking indicators. And then you had...
Those indicators are tiny.
Oh yeah, they're still illegal.
To be fair, the indicators on my bike are quite small, but they are bright.
Yeah, we said we'll change them, but we didn't change them in the end. But I didn't get pulled over.
I will
for it.
change them.
I swear, didn't we all have an issue with indicators at some point?
Yeah, my left side just shit itself.
Yeah.
Mine did too, but that's because it had water in it.
Oh yeah, because we fixed that, didn't we?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I remember it happened the same week yours went.
Yeah, so my one was really fucking stupid. I can't remember how.
It was freaking faster than the other one.
And then one just wasn't on.
It just wouldn't come
It's
on.
because the wire was trapped underneath the seat.
Yeah, it got pinched.
But why did we take the seat off? There was a reason the seat came off.
Because he was playing around with the battery.
Yes, I had to take it into the garage, and then when they put the seat back on there, because I remember they didn't charge me for it because it was that.
Yeah.
Because it was their fault.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't their fault, it was their mistake.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they made an issue. And then mine was just rainwater.
Yeah.
My bike.
That's the thing with Lex Motos,
My bike
is
was not
they're like Aston Martins. They're not built for English weather.
They're built for sun weather.
Yeah.
Really. But they're not built for anything else.
Because didn't they borderline super glue your spark plug in
Yeah.
to stop water getting in there again?
Yeah, no, but I suspect that was the guy who sold it to me. I don't think anyone else had that issue with their Lex Motor. Because I spoke to a few people that own them and they never had that issue. I think the guy who sold it to me was worried about the spark plug, and his his solution was, glue might be waterproof. So he's covered in glue.
Did Legends tell you about what happened to me last night?
No.
Got hit by a car.
You got hit?
Yep.
As in, how badly hit?
I won.
How? You're going to have to explain this. What?
I didn't tell him for this very reason, by the way.
Why?
So you can say it on the podcast.
Oh, so essentially, my pinion peg at the back,
Yeah.
I had to take that off to get to the brakes to clean them because it was attached to the exhaust.
Alright.
So I had to get the exhaust out of the way. But in doing so, I lost the ball bearing for the locking mechanism.
For the peg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a spare one, which I bought, because you can buy every single little nut bolt ball bearing for my bike instead of the whole assembly. It cost me like
cheaper, right?
It cost me like £5.
Yeah, it's much cheaper.
And like 4 of that was shipping. And I think because of that, it's now down permanently, like unfolded permanently until I replace it.
Oh, right.
And I was going to replace it this weekend, but I'm glad I didn't. Because of that, when the car hit me from the back side, the pinion was obviously sticking out further than the rest of the bike.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for their reaction times and that peg, the bike probably would have been not totaled, but it would have needed a repair. I would have had to push it
So
home.
what even happened?
So I'm coming onto a roundabout on the outside lane.
Yeah.
They're in the inside lane in a little bit of traffic.
Oh, so they've tried to come out.
No. They were about to get rear-ended and panicked. So they're looking in their mirrors at this car about to rear-end them. Don't see me thinking I've gone past them.
Yeah.
Swerve out and then clip my back end. But because of their reaction times, the moment they heard a crunch, stop.
Yeah.
Dead stop.
They hit the brakes.
I was genuinely impressed with how quickly they stopped.
Ow.
And my little peg saved my exhaust and just crunched their bumper. more damage to their car than Nelly. And I was like, holy shit, the gods were looking over me this day. And there are still bits of their bumper on that roundabout today on my way home. But yeah, no, I pulled over. They pulled over as well, which I'm glad about. Had they not pulled over, I probably would have a police report in.
Yeah, that's a hit and run.
But they pulled over, apologised profusely, like she was shaken. Gave me all her contact details in case there was damage, and she turned around and was like, I don't want to go for insurance, so my insurance is ridiculously high. I was like, any damage? She goes, any damages, I will just pay for them
Outright, which is honestly quite.
And I was like, sweet, because I ain't fucking dealing with insurance again. I'm still battling insurance for the last month. But yeah, to be fair, the moment she hit me, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. I weren't even like, because I didn't get knocked off. Like, I stayed upright the entire time.
Alright.
But I was like, oh, fuck, not this again.
And it's always your rear end.
Yeah. No. It's always my rear end or someone reversed into me.
They're like a booty.
The bus reversed into me.
Yep.
And then the van knocked me over. But I never actually came in contact with the van.
Huh.
But had I not hit the deck, I would have hit them.
Yeah.
So they still caused it. So it's still their fault.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she rear-ended me. Wouldn't stop apologising. I'm like, you're getting on my nerves now. Shut the fuck up. Like, shit happens. Like,
I want to go home.
Yeah, like she's one of our viewers, and you've just insulted her.
It's like, yeah, I'm good. Like, calm down. We're good. Your car works. The bike works. Although there was a moment where we thought it didn't.
A car or your bike?
My bike.
Go on.
I was like, I'm gonna start it up. Nothing. Maybe the kill switch. Flick the kill switch on and off, because sometimes they get stuck up.
Yeah,
Tried it again, nothing. I'm like, fuck. Then I saw the gear indicator and it was 1. I was like,
use him first.
oh, thank fuck, because I didn't ride it onto the curb. I pushed it just in case there was damage, because I obviously couldn't see while I was on the bike.
Yeah, if anything happened. You know,
So I was like, just
bent in.
I basically ran with the bike out of the road. Luckily, all the cars next, like behind us, stopped because they saw what happened.
Yeah.
I have never hit my hazard so quick though. I was quite impressed with myself. But yeah, well, no harm done. I've never seen a bike take less damage than the car in a collision.
Yours.
Yep. I've got some paint from her car on the peg, and that's it.
I'd keep that as a commemoration.
Yeah, I'm like, I ain't cleaning that.
Battle scar.
Yeah. But had I not forgotten to replace that ball bearing, it could have been a lot worse.
It could have been your foot. It could
Yep.
have been the chain.
Yep. It's a good thing I can't take passengers, because they would have no ankle. Their foot would have been demolished.
I don't think after all the accidents you've had, I wouldn't jump on the back of your bike.
But you know what? Now I think about it. Now I've mentioned that, like, the crumple zone on cars is possibly the best invention for cars.
No, it really is.
After the seatbelt.
I remember on X now, as it's known, I saw the comparison difference between the car from like the 70s compared to now.
Yeah.
You're dead 80% of the time.
Yep.
And I still want them.
But in fairness, back then
Everything.
they didn't go as fast. So
No, they did. They were quite quick.
back in the 20s, etc.
Yeah, they were quite quick.
Really?
Yeah, the reason why we have speed limits is because of those damn.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I can't remember what the story was, but there was a lady who, in the UK, who pretty much noticed that on our motorways, crashes kept happening because people were speeding so much. And obviously the crashes led to death, so they wanted to solve that problem. If I'm remembering that correctly, history isn't my subject. But if you imagine, what would happen before is you would be in a cake, even at 45 miles per hour. And these old-time cars could do over 100.
It's fair, even now 40 can still kill you.
It can still kill you.
Under
But
40 can
in
still kill you.
most cars, especially most cars over 5 grand, you're surviving
Yeah,
easily.
maybe not easily. Like you're not walking away.
What's the back thing people always complain about?
Whiplash.
Whiplash. You probably have that.
Yeah. You might have a concussion if you headbutt the steering wheel.
A few
To
bruises.
be fair,
that sort of thing.
I've heard stories of the airbag giving people concussions.
I've heard of stories of the airbag killing people.
But you know, I'd rather the airbag give me a concussion than die.
The airbag can kill you.
No, I know, but I think they fixed that. I think the reason it was killing people is because like
It would accelerate.
not just that, but where it comes out the steering wheel, it didn't always separate properly, so it would just be a solid lump of plastic just thunk right in your face.
Uppercut from the insurance company of the other car, making sure you can't complain.
Yeah. You can't sue us if you're dead.
That's it. Oh no, that's funny, man.
Do you remember the suicide doors that they used to have on cars?
Yes.
The ones that would just fall off. Or
No, the ones that open the opposite direction to make it more difficult for you to jump out.
Rolls Royces and stuff like that.
Yeah, why did they have that?
Because it was flash and different.
Yeah.
That was the only reason. It was like, oh look, it opens a different direction.
There was something like the gold wing doors and everything
Yeah,
as well.
but it creates a bigger opening, so it's easier for you to get out.
To be fair, the doors that go up a bit.
Oh, I love them. Yeah.
Make you wet.
Oh, but what about the but what about the ones that open normally and then go up, like
Oh,
the Lambo ones?
So, to the side and then up.
Yeah, like they open slightly and then go up.
I kind of do like that.
Yeah. Have you seen the automatic ones? They have like those exact doors, but they're automatic.
You don't have to touch them.
You press a button and it just punk.
To be fair, bro, I would just wet myself.
but just jizz right there.
Just jizz, bro.
But the thing with those is they go wrong a lot.
Yeah, because it's a complicated system.
I don't know if they fixed the system now, but
In the newer cars, they might.
yeah. But I've also seen less people using them, probably because they couldn't fix them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of supercars set on fire too, so there's
Yeah.
a lot of mechanics.
Or if with the Revolto, once it's been in a crash, you can't get it unlocked.
Oh, bro. Yeah, but that's mostly to do with the fact that it's brand new, and I don't think the type of people who can afford a Revolto normally can just replace it,
Yeah.
which is what they would do. They don't want to be using a crashed car. They would rather buy a brand new one.
Then you have our boy Matt Armstrong.
I would just build. I would rebuild it.
If I could afford a Revolto, I would just buy a McLaren and then call it a day.
Yeah.
I really would. I'd be like, well, £700,000 over £250,000 is a big jump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
McLaren wins.
So I would buy a McLaren and then buy an extra